Good morning, entrepreneurs and builders. Welcome to the Breaking Business Podcast, where we don't just talk marketing and entrepreneurship, we dissect it, we challenge it, we extract those golden nuggets that you can actually use every single day. Business is in your blood, and I'm here to make it boil. I'm your host, Dr. Wood. Now let's break it down and build something great.
So I was talking to a client the other day, right? And he asked me a question. He said, how long does it usually take to see results in our endeavors, our quote unquote marketing endeavors? And the long and the short of it that I was describing to him was the all dreaded, it depends type of scenario, right? Where we're doing a combination of Facebook marketing, email marketing, and search marketing. And he wanted to know how long each of the various channels would take for our services. Well, this particular service is a electrician. So, and he provides services such as GCFI outlet repair, or you have things like rewiring of televisions, anything around sound systems, television systems, basically all of your entertainment electrician work. That is what he ends up doing. And we are targeting specifically those things through the various mediums. And he just wanted to understand the process of, okay, we started at, let's just say, day one. You've done this, this, and this. How long would these channels take to see results, quote unquote results? And first, we had to classify what results actually means to him, right? So in a business, you can do a cash flow focus, you can do a brand awareness focus. You pretty much get to define your goal as a business right from the get-go. But most small to medium businesses always worry about longevity and cash flow, in my experience. So when looking at day one versus day 90 as an example, and we look at the cash flow, well, search marketing specifically is something called a pull strategy, where the customer is already ready, willing, and able to make the purchase or the action that you want based on the search. So if I type in Google electrician near me, insert other thing here, it's going to bring up a list of people who have ranked or people who are bidding on those specific keywords for that thing that I'm already searching for, right? Well, if I'm searching for something specific like that, that also means I'm most likely doing one of two things. One, I'm shopping around to try to get the best price, best quality, best quote on electricians near me. Or I'm already ready, willing, and able to call whomever to get that service done. So the results, quote unquote, are going to be almost immediate, right? So if I, on Google search specifically, if I develop an ad campaign strategy that says I want my cost per acquisition to be somewhere around $9, and I know on the back end, as I'm an electrician, my services, all of my services, average out to being anywhere from $90 to $150, right? I then, over the first week of doing the paid search, I can see how many phone calls come in at the $9 strike and how many of those $9 calls convert into the $90 to $150 service. And then I quickly can say, okay, out of every 5 calls, which was $45, I made one customer who most likely will be a repeat customer if I'm good at my job, but the baseline at $90. So I essentially doubled my, from the advertising, I doubled. My return on ad spend was double, 2x. I spent $45, I made $90. That's not including all the nuanced things around developing a business, such as equipment, such as labor, such as basically anything that's non-ad related from a paid search standpoint. But this gives you an idea of, quote unquote, the results, and you can then structure your business and your operations around this return on ad spend. And so if you are able to get your operations costs down to a certain amount, you get your labor costs down to a certain amount, then you can say, okay, my profit margin, if I take this 45 and then take a cost of goods, cost of labor, cost of miscellaneous, then my profit margin is the difference between that base level or the average of my revenue minus all those costs, and then make it a percentage of the total, and that is my profit margins. Now, coming back to the Facebook marketing side of things, that is more of a push strategy where people who are not necessarily ready, willing, and able to buy the service now are going to see your ad, but it compensates for the cost per click, the cost of awareness, the virality behind it. You are able to get more eyes on your business for less money. Now, both strategies are good to a certain degree. Both strategies make sense for any situation, really. But for this one, the quote unquote results are going to take longer because you're focusing on something different in this type of marketing strategy. You're focusing on getting your name, your brand, your trust factor out there for the general public to view. And I say you want to, but depending on how much cash flow that you can manage for your advertising, you want to try to do a balance of sort between these various push and pull marketing strategies to create a system where when one goes to one area, as soon as they bounce over to the other, they get hit with an ad, or they're more likely to convert on the other thing. The example is between Google search and Facebook push. So if I push my ad out on Facebook for, let's just say I spend $1 and push it out to 1,000 people. Well, on the Google side of things, I use a system of retargeting to bring those people who have already seen your ad, already understand what your business is from the Facebook side of things, over to Google, and you can retarget them at a lesser cost per click because it's easier for Google to find those people, right? It's easier for Google to understand in its algorithm that this is your ideal customer coming from one side or the other. So you end up having a reduced price in your cost per acquisition. So my example of a $9 cost per acquisition, if I did $1 over at Facebook for 1,000 people, I did that example. This doesn't translate to actual costs. But if I take that $1 and then I also bring it over to Google, well, Google's going to have an easier time. So that's going to lower the cost per acquisition, which means I might get a consumer for $6 instead of $9. Well, that's going to do three things. It's going to raise the awareness of the public to your business. It's going to reduce cost per acquisition for each service, which means that your profit margins are going to be higher and you can expand and grow to a certain degree. You can expand into additional labor. You can expand into additional advertising if you still don't have enough business for yourself, or you can expand equipment. You can expand services. And this brings it all into an ecosystem where you can continually grow and compound as you're reinvesting into your own marketing endeavors. So as I was explaining this to the client, and so we didn't even get a touch on the email marketing side of things because that's a whole different system. But back to the original topic, how long does it take to see results in marketing? It depends. And if you're doing paid versus organic, if you're doing the paid side, it's almost immediate, right? You are trading dollars for eyes when it comes to marketing if you're using paid advertising channels. If you're doing more SEO, in another video of mine, I talk about the SEO versus social media and which one brings more sales. Go check out that video. But for this one, SEO, as I described over there, takes a lot longer than a paid. So if your cash flow can't sustain your own business for a sunk cost to develop the brand recognition, to develop the trust and all that within the first year, then you want to do paid marketing and you want to take that route in conjunction with the SEO to build your business over time and let it compound within the first year. And then, between year 1 and 3, it explodes. And then from 3 to 10, it basically is your maximization. and how you want to define yourself as a business, as a brand, and bringing that into your community. All right. I think that's all I had for that. Please like, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff. And if you have any questions, concerns, or comments, challenge my opinions below. And I hope to see you guys in the next one.